Hello and welcome. We are the Coffee and Gene team, and we've been working on Challenge 1, Schedule Summarization. The request from the client is to have a multi-level summary of a schedule for different stakeholders, from the average planner through to senior management. We were able to clarify some finer points with the challenger setter, including clarification of the project management software used, Primavera. By integrating Primavera with Power BI, it will allow for more frequent or live data to be presented, as well as autonomous updates directly to Power BIs, reducing the need for manual efforts. Effectively, we have tackled these projects in the opposite way presented, starting with the most summarized schedule and expanding the filter to create further detailed views.
Utilising the professional experiences and different skill sets within the team, as well as adopting an agile approach, including real-life experiences in creation and implementation of similar systems, we are confident that this is what has been requested. It was then that we moved on to look at the provided datasets. While we were only limited to 2 days to create a solution to this challenge, we've created a mock-up of what potential outputs of our efforts could look like had we had more time to polish our solutions. These include a milestone dashboard to highlight delays and a WBS activity dashboard to showcase the expected timescale and range. Through reviews of the dataset, it was established that there was no clear and obvious critical path or roll-up activities that we could use to summarize the data. We adapted to this by splitting out the work breakdown structure, the WBS column, to give us a granular detail up to 7 levels. Using this, we created an Excel pivot table in which the 6-month data and 12 months data could be compared. However, this was not completely ideal, as it was evident that there was no level 1 activity and the critical path was difficult to identify. We explored other options and utilised a combination of industry expertise and AI software to assist in creating an assumed critical path. We cross-referenced the different results from Marvin, Copilot, and ChatGPT to confirm that our assumed summary data and the created critical path are the most realistic it could be. This AI-generated list was then used alongside the calculations, used the earliest start dates and the latest end dates for the length of the tasks. In an ideal solution, this would be generated by a calculated column in the schedule based on the critical path, milestones, and manually populated key activity columns.
Within Power BI, further minimal data cleaning due to time constraints was undertaken, focusing on headings from the top row, splitting columns to WBS and key information, and formatting columns. We utilised 2 months of data to create a slippage chart with scope to expand into other charts as per stakeholder demands. Given the limitations with the provided dataset, we needed to create unique identifiers across the multiple sets of data, and again used AI to assist with DAX expressions on more complex issues. The datasets were merged to create a master dataset, so the visualization would pull through cleanly. With a live link to P6 and its data, this would be automated and not required.
For visualization, we decided a Gantt chart would provide a visually recognizable layout within industry standards with Power BI's various interactive visualizations tools. This can be expanded as required, depending on any specific stakeholder requests, such as presenting completion as a percentage.
Our presented solution is not a finished product and would require more detailed dataset or a direct link to the P6 system. Instead, we have created a stepping stone to what is possible with the dataset provided. Our solution, once integrated within the P6 system via an API, will avoid long manual duplication in the creation of summaries, freeing up the planners to focus on the key activities, and will support decision-making at every level. The automatic P6 link would also drive data quality and accuracy. Without direct access to the live data, this cannot be proved, but any implementation of our solution will require testing prior to any wider launch. Looking beyond what we have produced, we would recommend utilising a fuller data set and ensuring that the industry standards are being followed, such as not duplicating task names, but using number delimitations for various versions of similar tasks. We cannot rule out that missing information from the dataset is that this isn't collected. Therefore, the levels of tasks are recorded and may need to be reviewed to ensure that these are being captured. Should all the required data become available, there is further scope to summarise a clearer summary. Review whether better tooling is available to improve the final product, such as visualizations within P6. There is also potential to use machine learning to support the selection of activities from the original schedule. through trend and risk analysis with further opportunities within forecasting.
The first question we have been asked is, how have you set about widening your understanding of the requirements of the challenge? To what extent did the problem decomposition process assist you with this? Well, we spoke with the project setter to understand and clarify the details of the task after our initial road mapping meeting. As we worked through the solution, as well as overcoming the hurdles, we looked into how we could utilise the tool for a wider purpose, such as drilling down the schedule to determine the key activities and what is driving the critical path of the project. Our second question was, when your agile approach required changes in direction of development, what were these issues these changes created and how were they handled? Despite having a clear final plan of what we wanted to produce, we worked with agility when the data outcomes we were given required reassessing the level of detail that we could produce. We handled these with frequent check-in meetings as a team and ensured that we were continuing to deliver what was being asked for by the client. We collaborated across the team and optimised all of our different strengths and our different expertise and skills. Our final question was, to what extent did you quality assure the data before developing your solution? Well, initially we did this in Excel to review the data and by looking at the uniquely identifiable columns, i.e. the WBS code, and we were able to create a pivot table to help visualize what we wanted in our Power BI output to look like. We could then use Power BI and Power Query to determine how the lower levels of the WBS were verified against the data in Excel summaries, and in doing this, we confirmed that our outputs matched, and we had comfort over the whole situation. And thank you for listening.